Tonight, crews battle ablaze after breaking its containment lines on Eyre Peninsula. And police arrest a 25-year-old man over an alleged break-in at Ceduna.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Fire crews have sprung into action to fight a blaze which broke its containment lines on Eyre Peninsula. Difficult terrain and severe weather creating challenges for those on the ground. Nathan Rector has this report.
The blaze broke out in scrubland south of Kokalichi early this morning, strong wind gusts fanning the flames. Lingering embers inside a creek bed from last week's grass fire at Pub Corner sparking this morning's blaze, the fire spreading to a stubble paddock.
And it took off again.
Thankfully, ground crews with support from water bombers were able to contain the blaze before it could spread any further.
We were lucky that some local landholders were out there from about 4 o'clock onwards this morning, I understand. We had crews respond to just after 6:30.
The CFS had prepared for a challenging day and Mother Nature didn't disappoint. Wind gusts in excess of 80 kilometres an hour were recorded on Lower Eyre Peninsula, wreaking havoc for crews. In a preemptive measure, total fire bans were declared late yesterday.
So hopefully 24 hours time we may be able to declare it safe, but at least controlled if not safe.
Mild weather forecasted over the coming days is set to aid crews mop up any hot spots.
Over in Whyalla, and strong winds blew through the city overnight. The Bureau of Meteorology issuing a severe weather warning for damaging winds for people in Eastern Eyre Peninsula, York Peninsula and Mid-North districts. The harsh gusty winds placing strain on trees and native wildlife, with some locals even waking up to their bins tipped over. The wild weather didn't stop there. A dust storm in the state's mid-north caused the Augusta Highway to be closed, with police blocking off the road and diverting traffic to keep everyone safe. Police remain on the hunt tonight for a hooded prowler caught peering through windows at an Ungara property yesterday morning. Security vision captured the intruder sneaking into the backyard of the Goods Road home just before 1 a.m. The homeowner contacted police, who rushed to the scene, but the suspect had fled. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact police. And police have uncovered clothing and a weapon believed to be connected to a robbery at a Port Lincoln service station last week. Authorities say this hooded jumper was worn by the offender, while a knife was used during the incident. It's understood an armed man wearing a Halloween-style mask entered the business on King Street just before 2:30 a.m. last Tuesday. It's understood he demanded cash and cigarettes before leaving on foot, heading south on London Street. No injuries were reported. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, at Ceduna, a 25-year-old man was arrested over an alleged break-in last month. Police say a set of keys were taken from a home on Talbot Grove. The victim's Holden sedan was allegedly stolen, with the car later found at Woodner the following day. As a result of police investigations, Ceduna patrols located and arrested a Cooneba man on Friday. He was charged with multiple offences and appeared in the Ceduna Magistrates Court yesterday. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. Regional South Australia could have the potential to become a major exporter of clean energy, according to a new study. The Australian Energy Market Operator's recent modelling demonstrating the state's quick progression into renewable energy.
On the back of key renewable projects in the region, including the South Australia to New South Wales interconnector and the government's Hydrogen Action Plan, is a new promising report for the state.
The Australian Energy Market Operators Report, released last week, highlights that our state government energy policies are working and delivering very positive benefits for South Australians.
The report showing the state has the potential to be a major exporter of clean energy, which, if implemented, could see regional jobs in the energy sector surge.
Our government's policies are turning South Australia from a net importer of fossil fuel-generated electricity to a net exporter of clean, renewable energy.
The Minister also says the government's Hydrogen Action Plan is driving enormous interest interstate and internationally.
And one of the most important of those is H2U's project to create hydrogen for domestic use and export at Port Bonython.
But we should have always in our mind about the long-term vision for a green steel industry in Australia, and that will involve our hydrogen.
The member for Giles, a strong advocate for the Steel City, says it has some real manufacturing opportunities.
And it's been my contention, and it's been my contention for a long time now, that Whyalla should be the state's serious hydrogen hub.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, Broken Hill businesses struggling to fill vacancies amid a job boom across the city. And the member for Frome renews his calls for the Horrocks Highway to be patched up. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back. Jobs across regional Australia are continuing to grow, with many looking to swap the city for the country. But businesses in Broken Hill say they're struggling to fill vacant positions, with more jobs than there are people to fill them.
Broken Hill at the heart of a regional renaissance, with unemployment below the state average and more jobs now than before the pandemic. There's never been a better time to make a tree change.
We're really talking about kind of record job vacancy growth in regional New South Wales.
But that's now causing a new problem. There's too many jobs and not enough people to fill them.
We're always looking for good staff. And they're awfully hard to come by.
We just can't get enough people. It's as simple as that. We want good tradespeople.
The Regional Australia Institute estimates there are currently more than 1,200 job vacancies across Dubbo and the Far West.
Jobs across regional Australia have been outstripping capital city growth across the last 12 to 18 months.
Scott Campbell from Nee James Steel says he's confident in Broken Hill's future, but finding locals with the right skill set is difficult.
We sort of favour those guys that have been through TAFE and had a 12-month course at TAFE. It's called a pre-apprenticeship course.
More than 10% of job vacancies are in health. The Far West Local Health District launching a campaign earlier this year to showcase our region, with the private sector also looking at attracting staff from the East Coast.
We've got to dangle a very big carrot to be able to get them to come out and stay. But of course, once they get to this town, they love it.
Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
But solutions to the vacancy issue are popping up. Upper Spencer Gulf job seekers can now find employment on a new specialised platform connecting them with potential employers. The site, USG Jobs, has been launched by Career Co Australia in partnership with BHP and Oz Minerals.
A new website giving residents in Port Pirie, Port Augusta and Whyalla another option for sourcing employment.
Upper Spencer Gulf Jobs platform has come about because of the abundance of opportunity that we've got in the Upper Spencer Gulf region.
Career Co Australia's director says with the region holding a strong industry in infrastructure, mining and resources, there lacked a central portal where local employers and job seekers could connect.
It was a collaborative approach. It also had the support of Lisa Brock, the Local Employment Facilitator, which is an initiative of the Australian Government.
Ms Davies also approaching BHP and Oz Minerals with the idea, both major employers in the region, discussing how it would benefit the local community and assist COVID-19 recovery in the local labour market.
It's up and running and we've had a fantastic response over the first week. We're now up over 400 jobs being available on the platform.
Those seeking employment can join the USG Jobs website to apply for a position and be considered for future roles. Employers can also post jobs to the site, sourcing local talent.
The platform really provides that place where employers and job seekers can connect. And having that showcased all in one central spot is just, really providing an avenue that we didn't have before.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Despite the state government injecting $55 million to repairing the Horrocks Highway, calls remain for upgrades to be prioritised. The member for Frome is once again saying lengths of the road need to be the key focus, raising many safety concerns for motorists.
It's been a rocky road for the Horrocks Highway.
Which needs to have immediate attention is just north of Roseworthy and Templars and that area there.
Dubbed as the Horror Highway by some, this stretch of road has been a hot topic for peak motoring body RAA for a number of years.
Horrocks Highway was the road that was most nominated back in our Risky Road survey back in 2017. It was the road we took to the 2018 state election.
The state government committed $55 million to upgrade the highway, but the member for Frome says the plans are not completed.
But I am frustrated, quite frankly, about it. This is a commitment from the Liberal Party at the last election in 2018. Now we still haven't got a final design for the whole of the Horrocks Highway, what they're going to do, the rehabilitation of that.
We know the section between Roseworthy and Templars continues to be an issue for many motorists, so we'd like to see that section upgraded concurrently with the other works that are taking place on the corridor.
In a statement, Transport Minister Corey Wingard says regional roads were neglected by the former Labor government and their investment to fix the Horrocks Highway will help save lives and improve business productivity. But some say the bumpy stretches of the road need to be prioritised.
And I would ask the Minister, if he is very sick and he's in a delicate situation, would he like to be sitting in the back of an ambulance over those bumps there? No, he wouldn't.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. Plans to upgrade a Port Lincoln tourism business amid a visitor boom. And Broken Hill Council offers free microchipping for local pets. We'll see you after the break. Hello again. There are grand plans to upgrade a Port Lincoln accommodation business as tourism numbers in the region continue to boom. Deco Beach Apartments securing funding as part of a state government initiative.
In the heart of Port Lincoln, a major makeover for one of the city's most stylish apartments.
Very excited about that because we really believe that this project will be so beneficial for the region.
The upgrades will boast a new outdoor area and swimming pool for the Deco Beach Apartments. The neighbouring property also given a facelift and incorporated into the business, providing extra accommodation.
We're going to renovate that building in the same style, in the Art Deco style, and then in between the two buildings we're going to build a lap pool.
An ambitious project they hope will set them apart from other hotels. But the grand plans won't come cheap, the project being partially funded through the state government's tourism development grants.
I'd really like to acknowledge the state government, South Australian Tourism Commission, for the wonderful work they do and for the opportunity to be able to apply and be successful.
Construction is set to begin in June and be completed by the end of the year, just the Christmas present Jill has been wishing for.
So that we can welcome guests for the summer break.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Meanwhile, 32 regional locations are in the running to win the Top Tourism Town Award. Residents are being encouraged to vote, with Spencer Gulf spots such as Port Lincoln, Whyalla, Clare, Moonta and Wallaroo battling it out to take the top spot. Member for Frome Jeff Brock says it's also an opportunity for people to visit these hotspots.
There is so much in the regions to see, and we've just got to make certain we get people out there to actually not only to see what's out there, but also to spend more of their own money into the economic opportunities for the businesses out there.
You can cast your vote on South Australia's Tourism Industry Council website. Broken Hill pet owners are being encouraged to take advantage of a free microchipping day. Council will be offering the service at the animal shelter this Friday. All bookings are required. The microchipping program is part of Council's plan to promote responsible pet ownership, with all cats and dogs required to be microchipped under New South Wales law. More than 200 dogs have been reported roaming through the streets in the last 12 months. Port Pirie Regional Council has farewelled a popular and well-known staff member and local. After spending nearly 6 years in the city, Director of Development and Regulation Grant McKenzie took time to manage multiple responsibilities. Despite feeling sad about leaving the position, Grant says he plans to spend more time with his family before committing to future plans. Chris Davey will step in to be Acting Director of Development. Stay with us after the break. Our reporter Lachlan Itter will bring us all the results from weekend sport. And we'll have all the weather details with Alex Sykes. Join us again soon. Welcome back. Many sporting competitions have enjoyed a well-deserved break over the last few weeks, but major events and the return of racing in Port Augusta has kept local fans busy. Here's our reporter Lachlan Itter with this week's Sports Wrap.
Many sports are getting back into the swing of things after the Easter break. Open A tennis resumed in Broken Hill on Thursday, with teams hoping to earn some precious ladder points. The top 4 teams are really breathing down each other's necks at the top of the ladder. The scoreboard for round 9 not telling the full story. Top spins and volleys having to fight hard for their wins. Corey Pascoe won in a tiebreak over Patrick Reinke in their singles match, but that wasn't enough to keep the forehands from taking the win by 2 sets. Serves had a 1-set win over backhands, while volleys defeated drop shots 4-2. Let's go over to Port Lincoln now for a look at the Golf Open Championships. Ben Abley took the win with an even par score of 72. Mike Freeman was the runner-up with 77, defeating Ryan Lack in the playoff. Both games were won comfortably in Whyalla netball on Saturday. True Blue had a 20-goal win over Warriors, and Kiwi opened up a huge margin, winning their match against Ravens 63-19. Plenty of excitement in Port Augusta, where the racing club held its first meet since the pandemic began. Leonardo, Guest List and Rushwa won their races, all by less than half a metre. Fulton Street had a very comfortable win, the gelding ridden by Lizzie Annals, crossing the line 6.3 metres ahead of Desidero, more than a full second between the 2 race leaders there. Finally, to update you on the Silver City Swim Club, who have 3 members competing at the Australian Age Championships. A big congratulations to Khalees Pressler, who won bronze in the 200 metre breaststroke and came 7th in both the 100 breast and 400 medley. Well done to Emily House and Lydia Hinton-Neal, who are also representing Broken Hill. We're always on the lookout for scores to include in Sport Wrap. If your league or competition would like to get involved, please do get in touch with us through our Facebook page.
As we reported earlier, it's certainly been a warm and gusty day across the region. Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex Sykes with more details.
That's right, Ruby. It certainly has been. A cold front moved across the west and south of South Australia today, causing those damaging winds with gusts around 90 kilometres an hour. Those damaging winds also triggering an extreme fire danger warning for the Lower Eyre Peninsula and York Peninsula today, and a severe fire danger warning for other areas in the region. From 3 p.m. today, there was a shower or 2 and it was windy in Port Lincoln with possible dust, a top of 29 degrees there. Partly cloudy and 24 in Broken Hill, and it was windy and cloudy in Cooper Pedy, 31 degrees. Looking further out across the region now, Port Augusta, a top of 27 degrees. There was dust and it was windy in Whyalla, 26. Port Pirie was windy and partly cloudy, 24. A shower or 2 and windy in Kadina, 26. Cleve was very windy and possible dust, also 26 degrees. Woodnor, 29. Clare, 21. And there was a shower or 2 and it was windy in Adelaide, 23 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, cloud crossing SA with a trough and front is causing light rain and strong winds over central and southern parts. Skies are mostly clear in the north due to a dry air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. North to northwesterly winds 25 to 33 knots. Seas 2 to 3 metres, decreasing to 1.5 by the early evening, and south to southwesterly swell below 1 metre. Port Lincoln and Cleve both 22 degrees tomorrow. Woodnor cloudy and a degree warmer with 23 degrees there. Whyalla cloudy and 23 degrees. Port Augusta cloudy and 25. Kadina will have a possible shower and 22 degrees there. Port Pirie shower 2 and 23. Similar conditions in Clare, 20 degrees, and Broken Hill cloudy and 22. Taking a look further through the week now, mainly fine conditions on Thursday with showers forecast in Port Pirie, Kadina, Port Lincoln and Adelaide. Partly cloudy across the rest of the Gulf, with temperatures forecast to be in the low to mid-20s. Clearing up on Friday, partly cloudy across the Gulf, except for in Broken Hill, where it's set to be a sunny 20 degrees. Cooper Pedy, Woodnor and Port Pirie are all set to have the region's top of 24 degrees, a max of 22 in Whyalla, Kadina and Port Lincoln. And a sneak peek of the weekend forecast now. Heating up on Saturday, a sunny 25 in Cooper Pedy, partly cloudy across the rest of the region. Port Augusta, Woodnor, Port Pirie all set to be a max of 23 degrees, and it'll be 21 in Adelaide if you are heading there. So Ruby, conditions are certainly set to ease throughout the rest of the week, and that's all the weather from me for tonight. Keep safe everyone in those windy conditions. Back to you, Ruby.
Lovely, thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening, and John Hunt will join you and the team tomorrow with more local news. Good night.